morning, children. Today we'll do the chapter Her First Party. This chapter is chapter 5 of your literature reader. Children, this is a story about a young girl, Millie, who was very excited to go to a party. That party is organized at the college hall by her brother and his friends. All their acquaintances would attend it, and she was looking forward to the party because she was going to play a leading role in the charades, the tableaus, the recitations. She was also very eager to wear that beautiful dress which was hanging below the chandelier. And then suddenly, the sight of a letter from Aunt Jane scares Millie. She had a great fear that this letter might contain something because of which she may not be able to attend the party. Now see what happens next.
Hello students, this is our fifth chapter. The name of the lesson is Her First Party, written by Kate Chopin. She's an American author, and the central characters of her writings are always women. This lesson is an interesting one which starts with a bang, but then later it helps us to think that it helps us to learn that we should think rationally. Okay, we should have balanced decision making. At your age it is a little difficult, but then as you mature, you know which things should be given or which decision should be given more importance, what is of prime importance in your life, how family comes first. Having fun in life is definitely important, but sometimes you cannot always keep yourself first. So let's delve further into the lesson and understand what it is all about. The party dress which was hanging beneath the chandelier in Millie's room was making her very excited. And why shouldn't it be? It's party time. Her brother Bob was having her brother Bob was having a party, and the party was given by his friends, and all her acquaintances who were between the age of 16 and 20 were going to the party. It would be an exciting event, and more so for Millie as it was her first ever party. She was really exhilarated at the thought of going to the party. No, the whole night, the whole day, she just kept thinking about the party, and the party would be fun because Millie was going to host many of the things, like she was going to do the tableau, she was going to participate in charade, and of course there would be song and dances and recitations, and Millie was going to be participating in each and everything. And that beautiful dress, she would dazzle in that dress. The whole idea of going to the party was just keeping her on toes. And along with the idea of going to the party, definitely comes apprehension. Students, you also must have gone to many parties, but there would always be the first party, which would have made you really excited. The very thought of the song, the music, the buffet, your friends would have made you really amused, and you must have thought of what I should be wearing and how what kind of decorations and all that stuff. And then suddenly some thought also comes across, thinking like, what if I can't go? What if dad comes late? What if mummy cannot make it? What if my dress, something happens to my dress? And all these thoughts might keep you, a little apprehensive. And similarly, Millie was experiencing the same kind of emotions. She was worried that it might rain, her dress might catch fire, or something untoward might happen. And all these things, was making her a little nervous. And the fact that her Aunt Mildred, her mother's dear sister, was really sick also troubled her. She was also thinking what might happen later. And all these thoughts didn't allow her to have her breakfast also properly the very next day. And she, continuously pestered her brother Bob with hundreds of questions, asking him about what might happen if these things take place. And her brother Bob also patiently answered. Somehow she was really restless, she just couldn't concentrate. Then she went out and stood there on the doorsteps, just thinking about what possibly might happen and what action she should be taking and all these things. She was just going on planning. And suddenly she saw the postman with quite some mail, and he had circulars and letters. And then she took all those things and went inside. One particular letter from Aunt Jane caught her attention. She realized that this letter must be regarding, Aunt Mildred. It might have some dreadful news, and it might ruin her chances of going to the party. Suddenly, she thought she should hide that letter. The thought wasn't really making her happy, but then she thought, what will possibly happen within a day? The party is tomorrow, and once the party is over, I'll quickly hand over the letter. So what could it possibly happen? The party was that very day, not tomorrow. And the next day she could just hand over the letter. So that was her whole plan. She thought that she should just hide that letter. And so she went ahead. She kept all the other mail on the table, and she just put the letter in the pocket. She felt ashamed that same moment. She went to the school, but the whole day the letter in her pocket made her feel so guilty, so conscientious. She felt that she was doing not something right, and that letter seemed like a reptile in her pocket. Why reptile? Because it was equally repulsive. The very thought that she's hiding something important from her mother made her feel really guilty. And that very moment she thought, no, maybe I should just go home and give the letter. And when she was going back, she heard the birds among the trees and everyone chattering and everyone giggling. And she thought, there would be double the fun in the party. How can I miss that? No, I will not miss it. What happens? I'll just keep the letter for the next day. I'll just keep it reserved, okay? So finally she gives up the idea of giving the letter back. The very thought of this glittering party, the very thought of the chattering gowns, the dresses they're going to wear, the ornaments they're going to wear, the ribbons fluttering, the hairstyle sparkling, all these thoughts made her so ecstatic that she just felt that even the sad face of her mother couldn't change her decision. And she stuck to it. She said, I'm going ahead with the party. I'll go ahead. That's fine. And when she got ready, now, Bob, he was completely oblivious to the situation. He never knew what was happening. So he just appreciated the way she looked. She looked stunning, and he was very happy that his little sister is looking very pretty. But as a joke, he just said, can you just rub off that little paint on your face? It was the fun part. And then her mother, she also wanted to participate in their excitement, and she also brought a beautiful white cape to wear around the dress, and she gave it to her. There would be 1,000 such parties more. But who's going to explain it to Millie? She never realized. She thought that she just couldn't miss it. And she went ahead. The party was just the way she expected it to be. Lots and lots of fun. People were laughing at the way she presented the charades. They were laughing to the core, and her recitation were appreciated. Everyone appreciated the way she looked. She had so many compliments. And then the food, oh, it was an ambrosial delight, just heavenly. There were mountains of ice creams, islands of sponge cake, running rivers of lemonade, so many soft drinks, so many delicacies. It was a night to remember. And all the way she came back home, she was full of excitement. She tried to keep pace with her brother, who just went on. It was like, okay, fine. It was a good party, but she just couldn't keep thinking about it. And all the way till she slept, she was thinking. But the moment she tried to close her eyes, a sudden, a sense of fear gripped her. And she remembered the letter. The whole night she was dreaming, and how she was going to face her mother the very next day. All these thoughts came across her mind, and somehow she had a restless night, one more restless night, but this time it wasn't the excitement. It was a night which had anticipation of fear of unknown. The very next day, with a pale face and sparkleless eyes, she stood at the doorstep waiting for the postman to come, and as soon as he came, she took the pile of letters, and along with it, she kept the letter which she had got one day prior, the letter from Aunt Jane, and just gave it to her mother. Then from a distance, she started watching her mother's reaction. She wasn't shocked when she saw her mother was trembling when she started reading the letter. She knew that the letter didn't have a good news to share. But when her mother started crying, she really felt, scared, and she darted across the room and took hold of her mother and asked her what was the reason. Her mother said that her Aunt Jane has told that Aunt Mildred cannot recover. The doctors have given all the hopes. She was in tears. She told her daughter, "You will not understand it, my child. You don't have a sister. We were the best of friends till we got married. It was different with Aunt Jane, as she was quite elder to us, and we didn't share the same relation, as she was sterner and strict. But we both had the best of relation." And she was feeling so very bad because this was the time when she should meet her sister, have one last meeting with her, and that one glance would make her feel so much better. She immediately got up, packed her bags, and just prayed that she, could see her sister. And she left. But after she left, Millie was totally lost. She didn't know what to do with herself. She felt so guilty. She kept praying that her aunt survives till her mother reaches and they have this one last meet. She was praying. She just couldn't have lunch. Her brother Bob didn't realize what had seized over her, because definitely they knew that her aunt wasn't keeping well. But why is that Millie is so upset? He kept on consoling her without knowing the reason. She couldn't even reveal it to him. She was feeling so guilty. That one incident made her so mature. And she realized that you cannot be selfish all the time. You have to give someone's emotions, keep them in, weigh those emotions and understand what is of more importance, what is really priority. Okay, you have to understand the priorities. And then suddenly the most dreaded thing, a telegram came in the afternoon, and it declared that her Aunt Mildred was no more. She was shattered. She knew that her aunt couldn't make it till her mother visited, and she expired earlier. Only if she could give the letter one day prior, this could have been averted, and her mother could have, had the at least the pleasure of meeting her sister one last time, it could have consoled her considerably. And Millie learned a very important lesson, but at a heavy cost. As the story proceeds, Millie is quite grown up by this time, and she has been to many parties since then. And whenever others see her at these parties, when they were kids, they were always accompanied by chaperones. They are like the elderlies who accompanies these kids so that they have safe outing. So Millie was also accompanied by such chaperones during that specific college party. And those chaperones says, "My God, Millie has changed so much. From a giggling, carefree teenager, she has turned into such a dignified personality." But this change has made, I found her that something missing, the Millie who was that exuberant young teenager, and the Millie now I see, she has changed a lot. Something is missing. The other chaperone, who might have had an idea as to what had actually happened with Millie, told her, no, something is not missing, something is gained. She has gained the worldly wisdom, the wisdom to understand relationships, their delicateness, and how to, bind the relations together. She has gained all this wisdom. And that's how the story ends on this note. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed the story, children. Your teachers will explain this chapter in detail in the Zoom class. Till then, read the chapter, try to understand that. In case you have any problem, you feel free to ask your teachers. Till then, bye. Have a nice day.